Welcome back everybody to Krispy Sports Leaks Daily Picks. I believe we caught fire here early to start the season. If you haven't been keeping up here on Krispy Sports Leaks, you're a little late. We're 6-1 to start this NBA season on spread picks. Christmas turned out to be a pretty good day for sports betting. We went 4-0 on the day, and it was pretty obvious. The recap might be pretty fast today because every game was one-sided. To start Christmas morning, the Heat took on the Pelicans. They jumped out to a 10-point lead early and never looked back. Zion and Brandon Ingram had a day, but it wasn't enough to hold off a balanced attack from the Heat. They covered the spread of 4 and some. The Heat went on to win 111-98. The second game of this 4-game slate was the Bucks against the Warriors. And as we knew, I said the Bucks would win by at least 20 points. Well, the Bucks won by almost 40. They scored 138 points, and Giannis had an off game. The Bucks covered the spread easy. Following the Bucks game was the Nets against the Celtics, and Kyrie went right to work. He looks like he's in all-star form as Durant followed, and the Nets go on to lay a beating on a good Celtics team. The Nets look like a problem in the East. They cover the spread easy and go on to win 123-95. I thought this was going to be the best game of the night, but the Celtics had no answer for Kyrie and KD on defense. The last game we have on this Christmas slate is the Lakers against the Mavericks, and we knew LeBron and the Lakers would put on a show as they never trailed in the game and go on to cover the spread and put up 138 points. Even though LeBron airballed a free throw, it wasn't as bad as how the Mavs played last night. Luka needs help. It's going to be a long season if he has to carry the load himself. Well, after a successful Christmas day of betting, we ended the day 4-0, and our record stands at 6-1 on bets against the spread. Don't wait too long to hop on this train, as we look to stay hot and have another winning week. First game up, we have the Hawks against the Grizzlies. This happens to be my sleeper pick, as the Hawks aren't favored in this game. I feel like these guys are underrated, and they have a talented young team. Trae Young is looking to have another great season, as he dominated the other night against the Bulls. With the Hawks going in as the underdog at +1, I'd say hammer this hard against an injured Grizz team. John Morant is a young superstar in the making, but I don't think he can lead his team to a win, and Bogdanovich and Gallinari bring a good dynamic to a young upcoming Hawks team. Look for the Hawks to win the game as the underdog and beat the Grizzlies by at least 5 points. Second game in today's slate is the Pacers against the Bulls. The spread happens to be 4.5 points, and the Bulls didn't look too good in their last matchup against the Hawks. They gave up 130 points and let Trae Young get off. They had no defensive answer, so we're still waiting for them to prove themselves, especially against a tougher opponent like the Pacers. The Pacers look to stay hot behind Sabonis and Brogdon and roll this young scrappy Bulls team. I think Zach LaVine will have a big game, but Sabonis is too good for the Bulls front court, so I look for him to put up 25 and 10 as the Pacers cover the spread at 4.5 and beat the Bulls. Another game I look to take advantage of is the Suns and Kings over at 228. It's not too high of an over with no fans. The Kings put up 124 points against a good Nuggets team last game, and DeAndre Ayton was in foul trouble early, so I see the Suns coming out to a fast start. I don't think Buddy Hield can stop Devin Booker, so watch Booker go for 40 as Chris Paul gets 15 assists. Also, the Suns are 9-0 in their last 9 games against the spread, and they're 6-1 in their last 7 games against the spread on the road. So I can see the Suns beating the Kings and covering the spread by a good amount. The last game I have on my 5-game slate is the 76ers against the Knicks, and the spread is 8. This bet to me is a no-brainer. Just looking up the stats, head-to-head, in the last 10 games, the 76ers are 10-0. That just shows how bad the organization in New York is. The Knicks aren't good enough to compete with the 76ers right now. They have zero identity, and I guarantee they won't be able to stop Joel Embiid. It's going to be a one-sided affair. I can't wait to collect my money at the end of the day. It's going to be a fun one. Well, alright, the picks are set. I got the Hawks +1 over the Grizzlies, the Pacers 4.5 over the Bulls, the Suns Kings over at 228, I got the Suns by 3.5 over the Kings, and the 76ers by 8 against the Knicks. Thanks for staying with me as we grind through the sports world each day. I'll be back soon with more sports leaks, and as always, keep it crispy.